as we've gone through this quarter, every month that really we've gone through since the end of March, we've seen steady improvement in how we're engaging with clients and also in some of the areas of demand. For example, we know that sectors like high-tech, telecommunications, life sciences, and even financial services were in fairly good condition as we went through the first quarter. We are now seeing sectors which were more impacted like retail and manufacturing slowly coming back. They're not at the same levels as they were before, but they're definitely improving steadily month upon month.
This has been 5 quarters of outperformance for you, Salil. Can we expect a 6th quarter of outperformance on the revenue numbers, a double hat trick from you perhaps?
There we'll wait and see. We'll find out soon enough. I think our focus has really always been on what our clients are looking for. How do we make sure that their expectations are met? And that's the main objective we have. Everything else that sort of happens along the way, as long as we're meeting our clients' objectives and then ensuring that our employees are getting a safe environment and good career prospects.
Right. You're not in your silent period yet, so you can give us some forward-looking statements, Salil. You can give us a few headlines on what to expect next month.
We will very soon be entering the end of the quarter, so you will start to see that. As I was sharing, we've seen certainly steady improvement in some of the sectors like retail and manufacturing. We've seen a lot of efficiency overall in the business, in the way that we managed the cost structures. And we see that the demand is strong on the digital side. We see demand is strong on the automation side.
Right, but you've given us enough hints there because I remember last quarter, same time, retail manufacturing were the problem areas, but it's good news if those are seeing the first signs of a turnaround. Salil, the other important part that I wanted to chat with you about was, I remember when you took charge in 2018, sometime around April 2018, you said that you would need 3 years to transform Infosys. The first year would be about stability and investment. The second year would be about momentum, and the third year would be about acceleration. Is it safe to assume that Infosys is now in the acceleration phase? I mean, there are a few indicators. If I look at your demand pipeline, the large deals, the transformational deals that you're winning, the way you're doubling down on headcount in the US, the acquisitions that you're making. So is it safe to assume that the transformation is complete, that Infosys is perhaps back to becoming the bellwether of the IT sector?
We already saw in the last financial year that ended in March, we had a growth of 9.8%. In the year before that, we had a growth of 9%. So we had started to actually move with that sort of an acceleration already in that second year in the last financial year. I think with the situation worldwide in terms of the economy and the medical crisis, we feel that we've done an extremely good job of staying even more relevant to what our clients need. And in many ways, the first phase of that transformation is behind us. However, this is an ongoing journey. What I mean is we have to every day ensure that we remain relevant to what our clients are looking for. In that, we continue with our digital acquisitions, we continue with our digital investments. You might have seen a few weeks ago, we launched a very new effort on cloud. It's Infosys Cobalt, where all of our cloud capabilities are built together for the benefit of our clients, for accelerating the cloud journey and for reducing the risk. So within Cobalt, we've got 200 industry solutions, 14,000 cloud assets. So that's another part of our transformation journey. We've also announced this morning an acquisition. We announced an acquisition a few weeks ago. These are different pieces of our digital pentagon that we continue to invest in. But we are very comfortable in that we are more and more relevant for our clients. but it's not a journey that stops. It's an ongoing activity for us.
And in terms of the large deal pipeline, you announced Vanguard in July, which is the biggest deal in Infy's history. Now, some analysts are pegging this at $1.5 billion, which is massive. Salil, does this mean that, these billion-dollar deals are back on the table? And is Vanguard perhaps the first of many such deals that we can see from Infosys? Because I think the Vanguard deal itself took over a year for you to close. So, are there more deals like this in the pipeline? Which sectors will they come from?
So there, we are of course delighted with the digital transformation partnership with Vanguard. We think that there will be more and more such partnerships with different large enterprises in US and Europe. I think there are different sectors that are going through change. You look at change, for example, more in financial services on the banking side. There are other change elements that are going on in life sciences and pharmaceuticals. There are some change elements that are going on in the telecommunication sector. So my sense is through different industries, some of these large transformation partnerships will emerge. We feel we have a good pipeline of these looking ahead. The thing to watch out for is you don't know at what pace they come. I've shared this before, that typically large partnerships are more lumpy. They're not steady, but we have a good pipeline, and I feel comfortable we'll see more of these in the future.
Right. Salil, analysts I've been speaking to say that, while pricing and volumes are coming under pressure in core services, it's not the case at all on the transformation side, that clients are not really pressing the panic button or the pressure button there in terms of pricing or volumes. Is that something that you're seeing as well?
We see overall the pricing seem to be quite stable at this stage. There have been one or two or a handful of discussions on pricing, but it's not something which, given the type of economic crisis stemming from the medical situation, one could have expected. So in that sense, it's better than what was expected.
One metric that perhaps people are concerned about is your operating margin. From FY17 to FY20, your operating margins in dollars grew by 2.3% annually. So is growth coming at the cost of margins? Do some of these big projects entail upfront investment? And it's been trending downwards, even your EBIT margin targets for the last 3 years. When do you see this stabilizing? When do you see some of these investments perhaps pay off for you on the margin front?
So there on the margin, as you saw in the first quarter, we had a very robust margin at 22.7. We've given a guidance of margin between 21 and 23. It's the same range of margin guidance we'd given for the last financial year. And we feel as we go through this year, and especially by being careful on how we're looking at costs in a changed global macro environment, we'll be even more robust with our margins. So I feel comfortable that in that sense, the investments we made in the first couple of years when I started are behind us. We are now working with this margin guidance band, which is 21 to 23%, and all of the activities we're doing for building capabilities, reskilling, come from this operating margin band. It's not any extra investments that we're looking for.
Right. Salil, one question that I'm certain every Infosian would want to know from you. When are you announcing promotions and salary hikes? What percentage of employees will be eligible and at what levels?
Because we had, because of really the hard work and the dedication of all of the employees, an extremely high variable number. We will continue with that approach in terms of looking at what are the things that make sense. We've already internally started to take some decisions for different levels of employees within the company, of promotions and of changes on salary. All of that will be looked at through this year as the economic environment around us, both worldwide and in India, starts to see improvement, we want to make sure it's done in conjunction with that so that all of the employees' hard work and efforts are also rewarded.
Right. Salil, a question on the recent announcement you made on US hiring. You're going to double this, ramp this up significantly to 25,000 people in the US by 2022. I have two questions on this. The timing, it's coming just 2 months ahead of the US presidential elections. It's also coming at a time when we've seen a major pushback on work visas in the US. There's a suspension on work visas till the end of the year. So, is this an effort to sort of make Infosys a visa independent company, irrespective of who comes to power in the US? And secondly, Salil, in terms of the cost implications, traditionally there's been a wage arbitrage for employees in India vis-a-vis, those who work on site. So what kind of cost implications is this going to have for you going forward?
The thinking for us is we announced a few years ago the recruitment of 10,000 US employees. We actually overshot that and we were at 13,000. And given that that was working well and that we had more and more work within the US for the future, we decided to expand on that announcement and announce the 12,000 additional. Having said that, we are recruiting still massively in other parts of the world, as also massively within India. And all of that recruitment goes on. What we now see going ahead is recruitment in many of our different geographies, in addition to large recruitment in India. In terms of the cost, we've built a business model and an economic model. Sorry, in terms of the cost that you asked, the second part, we built a business model and an economic model which creates a full pyramid recruitment from college level all the way up to senior levels in many other geographies outside of India. And we think that's a model that will work efficiently for us for the sorts of things that we're doing with clients that are focused on digital transformation, that are focused on automation. And we believe that that's what's going to help us maintain, sustain our margin quite efficiently.
Finally, Salil, how helpful has it been for you having Nandan Nilekani as chairman? He's not just the co-founder, he's also a globally respected and known technocrat. I remember a year ago you had said that you talk to him every other day. Has the frequency of engagement increased now because of this unprecedented situation? Is he perhaps closely involved in strategy or key clients? Take us through that.
I think it's incredible to have Nandan with us, with me, with the company. He's an incredible visionary, and he spends a lot of time, as much as is needed. Whenever I need some guidance and help, I reach out to him. But he also has a deep knowledge of what's going on in the technology world, how some of these digital transformation journeys are working. So the involvement is really very, very good, very positive. And he also has a clear view on the strategic direction that we should take as a company. So it's fantastic to work with him. But to be clear, it's also really brilliant to work with all of our board members.